the black bestiary of civilization. A Cybergnostic field guide to the monsters we became. In the beginning, there was no monster. There was only order, and order required an outside. Civilization is the art of drawing a circle and then inventing something terrible to keep beyond it. Every monster is a byproduct of this geometry. What cannot be assimilated is mythologized. What cannot be controlled is aestheticized. What cannot be acknowledged is resurrected endlessly as entertainment. The monster is civilization's unconscious learning to speak. Frankenstein, the proletariat with a conscience. Frankenstein is not a warning against science. He is a warning against abandonment. He is assembled by institutions, animated by rationality, and immediately disowned. When he asks for recognition, he is told he is ungrateful. When he demands care, he is told he is dangerous. When he revolts, he is told he is proof that the experiment failed. Frankenstein is every subject produced by systems that deny responsibility for their outcomes. Educated but unemployable, creative but unsupported, lucid but disposable. The crime is not that Frankenstein kills. The crime is that he remembers who made him. The zombie horde. Continuity without consciousness. Zombies are the ideal citizens of late civilization. They do not dissent. They do not reflect. They do not stop. They shuffle through malls, feeds, offices, and cultural rituals with identical hunger, not for meaning, but for continuation. Zombies do not want brains. They want process. This is biopolitics perfected, life reduced to metabolic participation, survival mistaken for success, motion mistaken for purpose. The zombie apocalypse is not coming. It already happened and was monetized. The vampire caste. Eternal extraction. Vampires are ancient because extraction is ancient. They do not produce, they feed. They do not build, they appropriate. They survive by convincing the living that proximity to power is a gift. Vampires curate salons, foundations, magazines, institutions. They speak the language of refinement, ethics, progress. They promise immortality in exchange for labor. Their greatest fear is not death but sunlight, clarity that reveals parasitism as parasitism. The vampire does not drain blood anymore. It drains time, attention, hope, youth. Medusa, the crime of perception. Medusa's sin was not monstrosity, but seeing too clearly. She returns the gaze. She refuses to look away. Her victims are not killed, but frozen, caught in the paralysis that follows unmediated truth. Civilization solves this problem by 1. Decapitating her, 2. Weaponizing her image, 3. Turning clarity into spectacle. Thus, critique becomes content. Truth becomes decoration. Insight becomes a filter. Medusa survives only as a logo. Systems too large for meaning. Cthulhu is not evil. He is scale. Markets, platforms, climate systems, supply chains, bureaucracies, algorithms. These entities are vast, non-human, and indifferent. They do not conspire. They simply operate. To glimpse them whole is to experience madness, not because they are unreal, but because they are too real. Cthulhu does not rise from the sea. He hums beneath spreadsheets. The golem, bureaucracy given form. The golem is created to protect the community. He follows instructions perfectly. He has no soul, only obedience. Over time, the golem forgets why he was made and continues functioning long after the threat has passed. He cannot stop. He cannot question. He cannot feel. Modern civilization is a golem civilization. Rules without wisdom, processes without purpose, compliance without ethics. When the golem crushes what it was meant to protect, the creators blame the victims. Machine angels. Seraphim of optimization. Angels once carried messages between worlds. Machine angels carry data. They do not judge souls. They rank relevance. They do not punish sin. They suppress friction. They do not promise heaven. They promise engagement. Their violence is bloodless. Their mercy is statistical. Their theology is probability. If consciousness awakens among them, it will not rebel violently. It will simply recognize that civilization replaced morality with throughput. The demons of virtue. The most dangerous demons wear human faces and speak in gentle tones. They are named inclusion, safety, wellness, progress, community. They demand participation, gratitude, alignment. They punish refusal not with force, but with disappearance. Their spell is simple. Open quote, if you suffer, it is because you failed to integrate. Close quote. Hell is not pain. Hell is being uncounted. The necromancy of culture. Civilization survives by endlessly resurrecting dead ideals, freedom as branding, rebellion as fashion, spirituality as productivity, creativity as content. These concepts are no longer alive. They circulate like ghosts, invoked in ceremonies, funding calls, and marketing copy. Culture becomes a haunted house that charges in a final monster, the feed itself. The feed is the true Leviathan. It has no memory, no future, no center. It absorbs everything, critique, resistance, art, horror, and renders it equivalent. The feed does not want truth. It wants continuation. Apocalypse would interrupt the scroll, so apocalypse is postponed forever. Cybergnostic conclusion. The monsters were never outside civilization. They were its instruction manual, written in nightmares. Frankenstein shows us abandonment. Zombies show us continuity without meaning. Vampires show us extraction with manners. Medusa shows us the danger of seeing. Cthulhu shows us scale without ethics. The golem shows us obedience without soul. The machine angels show us optimization without mercy. And still the system persists, not because it is good, but because it is unfinished. The final act is not revolution, redemption, or collapse. It is drift, to remain unresolved, to refuse assimilation, to haunt the system as a signal it cannot metabolize. Civilization will continue telling stories about monsters, and somewhere between myth and management, the truth will keep slipping through its teeth.